Very good day, guys. So, how are you doing all? Hope you are doing very good with your family, friends, and all this. So, before starting today's session, I am going to just share with my experience now. Outside of my lab, there is rain is happening. So, this is very good weather now outside. So, it is very beautiful moment at the time of this recording. So, can we proceed now? So, we have seen till now in the human skull about the norma verticalis, norma occipitalis, okay, and the norma lateralis. So today we all are going to learn together about the norma frontalis. So what is the norma frontalis? So norma frontalis is the anterior or the front view of the skull, right? So we'll see that the norma frontalis is roughly oval in outline and it is wider above than below. Fine. So what are the bones involved in this? We will see. So first frontal bone, which is forming the forehead. Its upper part is smooth and convex, but the lower part is irregular and is interrupted by the orbits and by the anterior bony aperture of the nose. Got it? Fine. Then second one is the right and the left maxilla. So very important bone of the face, that is the maxilla, which is forming the upper jaw. The lower jaw is formed by the mandible. Obviously, we all know. Then the right and the left nasal bones, which is forming the bridge of the nose. Other one is the zygomatic bones, okay, paired bones. These are forming the bony prominence of the superolateral parts of the cheek. So you know the below the eyeball or the orbit, the bony prominence on the cheek is due to the presence of the body of the zygomatic bone. Then the last one is the mandible, which is forming the lower jaw. Okay. So norma frontalis will be studied under. So we'll see all these norma frontalis under the headings of the frontal region. First we'll describe, then orbital opening, then anterior bony aperture or also known as the piriform aperture of the nose and the lower part of the face including the maxilla and the mandible. So first we will see the frontal region, that is upper region of the norma frontalis. So what we'll see here, so just consider of this, this is known as the superciliary arch, which is rounded in shape. If you see in this 3D portion, so it is curved elevation situated just above the medial part of the each orbit and it overlies the frontal sinus. So you know the frontal sinus, frontal air sinus, one of the paranasal sinuses. So it is lying beneath this superciliary arch and is better marked in the male as compared to the female. So this is one of the sexual determination of the skull. Then the other feature of the frontal region is the glabella. Glabella is a median elevation connecting the two superciliary arches. Below the glabella, there is a skull which is receding to the frontonasal suture at the root of the nose. So this is the root of the nose, you can see. There is a point in the median portion, median plane of this root of the nose, that is known as the nasion. This median point, what is we call it as nasion. Okay, where the internasal sutures meet with the frontonasal suture. This T-shaped suture is found, so this is the meeting point of this, that is called nasion. Then the frontal tuber, or also known as the frontal eminence. So it is a low rounded elevation above the superciliary arch, one on each side. So this is more prominent in female as compared to male skull. Got it, guys? Very good. So you are grasping it very fast. I'm very happy for you. Okay, so next we'll see the orbital openings. So this orbital openings, it is quadrangular in shape. You can see having the four sides on each side of this, and it is bounded by following four regions. So we'll see all these margins. So the supraorbital margin, infraorbital margin, lateral and the medial margin. So supraorbital margin is formed by, you can see clearly, it is completely formed by the frontal bone. So you can see this is the supraorbital nose. When it is complete having the bony bridge, then it is known as the supraorbital foramen. So it is present at the junction of the lateral 2/3 and medial 1/3. So lateral 2/3 you can see of this margin is sharp as compared to the lateral medial 1/3, which is rounded. Got it? So through the supraorbital foramen, it is transmitting the supraorbital nerve and the vessels. So we have already seen in our scalp lecture what are the blood supply and these nodes. So one of these is the these are one of these is the supraorbital vessels and the nerve. Good. Have you recollected that? Very good. Now we'll see the infraorbital margin. It is formed by the zygomatic bone laterally, you can see clearly, and the maxilla medially. Fine. Then lateral orbital margin. So it is formed by the zygomatic process of the frontal bone and frontal process of the zygomatic bone, vice versa. Right. So this is the suture between these two bones. Very good. Then medial orbital margin. It is ill-defined and it is formed by the frontal bone above and by the lacrimal crest of the frontal process of the maxilla. So you can see this is the lacrimal fossa. So anteriorly it is formed by the maxilla, posteriorly by the lacrimal bone. So anterior margin of this lacrimal fossa is known as the lacrimal crest. ठीक है? So that is a part of the medial margin also. ठीक है? तो ये हो गया तुम्हारा orbital openings. Now we'll see the piriform aperture of the nose or anterior bony aperture of the nose. So this aperture is pear-shaped, therefore it is known as the piriform aperture, and it is wider below as compared to the above. The upper part is narrower. Got it? Now we'll see the boundary of this aperture. So above it is formed by the lower border of the nasal bones, and below it is formed by the nasal notch of the body of the maxilla. This is the body of the maxilla, and this medial margin is known as the nasal notch. Okay. What are the features of this? So we'll see the articulation of the nasal bones here. So anteriorly with the opposite bone of the internasal suture it is formed, posteriorly with the frontal process of maxilla, superiorly with the frontal bone, the frontonasal suture, and inferiorly the upper part of the nasal cartilage is attached to it. So cartilage is already not here, obviously not here, because it has been removed due to the maceration. Then the nasal bone is one of the most commonly fractured bone of the face, you remember. Fine. We give the kick on the face, so it can go on the nose, okay, and that nasal bone can get fractured. Very thin, very delicate bone it is. Right. Then and the anterior nasal spine. This is the anterior nasal spine is a sharp projection in the median plane in the lower boundary of the piriform aperture. You can see from the lateral view we can see this projecting anteriorly. Fine. Okay. Then we have completed this. Now we'll come to the lower part of the face. अभी क्या रहता है lower part of the face में? This is formed by the maxilla and mandible and also zygomatic bone. So maxilla will contribute for the large share in the formation of facial skeleton. So anterior surface of the body of the maxilla present this nasal notch. Medially we already seen the anterior nasal spine. This also we have seen the infraorbital foramen. Now this infraorbital foramen is situated 1 centimeter below the infraorbital margin. Got it? And it is transmitting the infraorbital vessels and the nerve. Then this is the incisive fossa above the incisor teeth, socket for the incisor teeth, and the canine fossa which is lateral to this canine eminence. This is the canine eminence and this is the canine fossa. Okay, you are getting it very quickly. Very good. Keep it up. Now, in addition to these three, we'll see the processes of the maxilla. So there are the three processes you can see here. The frontal process of the maxilla is direct upward, which articulating anteriorly with the nasal bone, posteriorly with the lacrimal bone, superiorly with the frontal bone. Okay? Then there is the zygomatic process here, posteriorly, which is short and taut, and it articulating with obviously with the zygomatic bone. Then there is the alveolar process on the lower side, which are bearing the socket for the upper teeth, forming the upper jaws. Then zygomatic bone, you can see here it is forming the body of the zygomatic bone forming the prominence of the cheek. Body of the zygomatic bone forming the prominence of the cheek. It is having zygomaticofacial foramen. We have seen the zygomaticotemporal foramen in norma lateralis. Now here on the norma frontalis, it is zygomaticofacial foramen which is seen on its surface. Got it? And it is transmitting zygomaticofacial vessels and the nerve. Very good. Then mandible. So mandible is forming, if I can articulate with it, So it is now complete skull. Okay, you can see that mandible is having different color, but it is articulating with and from the other human skeleton. So it forming the lower jaw. The upper border or the alveolar arch lodges the lower teeth. The lower border is also known as the base, which is rounded, not sharp, only rounded, and the middle point of the base is called the mental point or nathion, right? And the anterior surface of the body of the mandible present the symphysis mentae, okay? Then mental protuberance here, the larger elevation, and below and lateral to that, the mental tubercles. Fine. Then this is the mental foramen, which is present below the interval between two premolar teeth, and it is transmitting the mental nerve and the vessels. Fine. Then the oblique line. So you can see the oblique line. It is running upwards and backwards from this mental tubercle up to the anterior border of the ramus. This is the ramus of the mandible. Got it? Okay, so we have completed almost all this of the normofrontalis features. Now the sutures we will see. So this is the internasal suture, frontonasal suture between the frontal and the nasal bones, nasomaxillary suture between nasal and the maxilla, frontal process of maxilla, then lacrimomaxillary between the lacrimal bone and frontal process of the maxilla, frontomaxillary again between the frontal and the frontal process of the maxilla, intermaxillary between the two maxilla below the nasal aperture, anterior nasal aperture, or this is the piriform aperture. Then zygomaticomexillary between processes, the vice versa process of the zygomatic and the maxillary bone, and zygomatic sutures. Got it? Okay. So these were all the about the norma frontalis. So what are the attachment, you will ask? So guys, so on the mandible we will learn about the attachment of the mandible during the description of the separate bone, and rest of the face it has been already given in the lectures of the facial muscle or the muscles of the face. So we can see all there that. So just remember here that all these foramen we have seen till now, that is supraorbital foramen, infraorbital foramen, and mental foramen. So these are transmitting the branches. Remember this, huh? These are lying in the same line, vertical line or same vertical plane, sagittal plane, and these are transmitting the branches of the three different division of the fifth cranial nerve, that is trigeminal nerve. The supraorbital foramen transmitting the supraorbital nerve, which is the branch of ophthalmic, that is first division of trigeminal nerve. Infraorbital foramen is transmitting infraorbital nerve, which is the branch of the second division, that is the maxillary division of the trigeminal nerve. And this mental foramen is transmitting the mental nerve, which is again one of the division, that is third division, or that is mandibular division of the trigeminal nerve. So all these three division branches are coming from this foramina, which are lying in the same vertical line. Fine. Okay guys, so this was all about the norma frontalis. So I definitely confident about you that you all grasped in one sitting that one, and you are able to present this very confidently in your examinations, in your examination hall. So all the best guys, and be with me for the further videos. And we can help to each other. So take care of yourself and your family. Thank you very much. Bye bye.